He has his brown suit on today with a green carnation.
You know, we were talking about the winner of this game, or the winner of the first game playing Notre Dame, and I was looking in the DePaul book, and it was 40 years ago that Ray Meyer graduated from Notre Dame, 1938.
Creighton and DePaul met once earlier this year. DePaul won it in Omaha, 85-82 in 3 overtimes. DePaul controls the opening tip. Curtis Watkins off to Randy Ramsey. To Corzine, a big man in the middle. Jump shot, Garland hits the rim, no good. Rebound, slapped around, picked off by Randy Ecker of Creighton. Here come the Blue Jays. Shovel pass, right side to David Wesley. Apke, number 44, is their big scorer. And McKenna brings it back out front to set it up, number 30. Meyer also said that his club does not like to play DePaul. Does not like to play Creighton because of the way they play. You just, to get the ball from them, you got to buy it from them. Here's a jumper, good by Kevin McKenna. Kevin McKenna draws first blood, and Creighton is on top, 2-0.
We might say, Ron, that we already have a problem with the clock, so the clock is being kept by a stopwatch on the scorer's table.
Here's a jumper right side, no good, off the front rim by Curtis Watkins, and Creighton has the rebound again. The clock went out late in the first game, and we had to keep the time with a stopwatch for both overtime periods. A jumper by David Wesley is good. He has 2, and Creighton on top by a score of 4-0. Driving baseline is Curtis Watkins. He cannot penetrate. There is Dave Corzine, number 40. He's their big man. Corzine averaging 20 points a game, shooting 54% from the field. Corzine at a high post, holds that ball like a grapefruit. Corzine is 6'11", 255 pounds, a senior from Arlington Heights, Illinois. Right side it goes to Curtis Watkins, to Corzine at the top of the key.
Very impressive defense right now by Creighton. They are doing what they do best, and they are excelling in it in the opening moments of this ball game, keeping DePaul away from the basket, keeping Corzine away from the basket.
And Corzine, who is normally a very fine passer, threw that ball away. Number 25 is John C. Johnson. Out front, bounce pass to Apke, underneath, stolen by Corzine, and DePaul has the basketball. Randy Ramsey across the timeline, right side it goes to Watkins. Back to Gary Garland. Garland got a pick from Ponsetto, but Ponsetto is called on a moving screen. Number 54, Joe Ponsetto. They call him the Godfather. He picks up the first foul of the game. Ponsetto was a 6'7", 210-pound senior from Maywood, Illinois, but he was called on the moving screen and the foul. It's 4-0 Creighton in the early going, and we really won't be able to give you much of an idea of time until it's announced by the PA man. A traveling violation called against David Wesley, so it's a turnover for Creighton, and DePaul University will have the basketball.
Again, watching Creighton play defense, they are playing a very sticky man-to-man and trying to keep DePaul outside.
This is Ponsetto, baseline jumper, yes. Joe Ponsetto scores the first points of the afternoon for DePaul, and it's 4-2 Creighton. Ponsetto is scoring at 13.5 points a game. He's a 48% shooter. Pass underneath, intended for John C. Johnson, and he has bumped and hit hard.
Ron, looking at the two teams, it is obvious that physically this is a mismatch. With Corzine and Ponsetto in there, there's nobody on the Creighton team that has the kind of bulk that these two players do.
The inbounds pass came directly to number 43, David Wesley, and he put it up without coming down, and he has 4. Creighton has 6. They lead by 4. Randy Ecker. This is a jumper by Watkins, no good, off the back rim. Ponsetto the rebound, up no good. Tip up, no good. High for the rebound is Apke. Apke out to Eckert. To Wesley, 20-footer, the front rim, and it's cleaned off by Corzine.
Sort of an uncharacteristic shot for Creighton.
Yeah, they usually don't take many bad ones. Creighton comes into the game shooting 49% from the floor. Curtis Watkins tried to drive the lane, and he was fouled. The foul was on number 44, Rick Apke. He is the brother, by the way, of the Creighton coach, Tom Apke, for you people in Chicago who aren't familiar with it. That's the first foul against Creighton in the game. Ponsetto inbounds cross court to Ramsey. Ramsey to Watkins. Curtis Watkins, a 6'5" junior from Harvey, Illinois. Corzine has it. Jumper rattles out from Garland, but it's picked up out front by Ramsey. So DePaul has another crack at it. There's a high, loud pass to Garland. Garland in heavy traffic underneath and loses it out of bounds.
You know, I suppose no matter what Gary Garland ever does at DePaul, nobody will ever forget the fact that he got the shot that beat Notre Dame.
Well, I know they won't forget it at DePaul, I can tell you that. And of course, there's a possibility of that match again next week if they should get by the Blue Jays of Creighton. Cross-court pass to the weak side to Ecker. Ecker drives lane, doesn't shoot, gives off to McKenna. Bang, he hits it. Kevin McKenna. McKenna has 4. He only averages 8 points a game, and Creighton leads by a score of 8-2 here in the first half. Ponsetto drives baseline, double team, spins. He goes weak side to Ramsey, and Ramsey hits it. Randy Ramsey, the 6'1" senior guy from Harvey, Illinois, finds the hole for the first time in the game for him. Ramsey only scores 3 points a game, so he's not going to get many points for you. It's 8-4. Creighton leads DePaul by 4. First round NCAA action from Wichita, Kansas. The winner here goes to Lawrence. Pass to Ecker underneath. Creighton is an excellent ball handling team. They really, really are patient until they can find that guy open, and that guy's name is Rick Apke, number 44. Apke scoring at 18.5 points a game, 50% from the floor. He's been their leading scorer in 16 games this season. Ponsetto at a high post for DePaul. Gives it off to Ramsey. Ramsey doesn't get anything but the backboard that time. And here come the Blue Jays. Ecker quickly across the timeline to the corner to Johnson. Johnson throws it away.
But I'm really amazed at the tempo at which Creighton is playing. You would think they would like to go down the floor slowly, but instead they are playing racehorse basketball.
There's a timeout on the court with our score. Creighton 10, DePaul 4. We'll return in a minute. Exact score, because as we told you, the scoreboard clock is, or the exact time, I mean, the scoreboard clock is down. So from time to time, we will try to pick it up from the scorers table. Creighton leads DePaul by a score of 10-4. Right side jumper, no good, rims out. And here comes the Blue Jays of Creighton. Ecker across the timeline to the top of the key. To Apke, a 20-footer, bang! Rick Apke has 4, and Creighton leads it by a score of 12-4.
Well, so much for all the conversation about the deliberate style of play for Creighton.
Clyde Bradshaw is in the game now for DePaul. Bradshaw on the dribble, number 15, to Ponsetto at a high post. Ponsetto goes baseline, holds it over his head. Here's a turnaround jumper by Watkins, and Watkins finds net. And he has 2 points, and it's now 12-6. So Creighton has doubled him here in the first half of play. Kevin Keel, number 40, in the game for Creighton. He's a guard out front. This is Apke. His pass underneath, slapped away and picked off by Corzine. Corzine, long lead pass down to Watkins. Watkins can't get in. And he hands it off to Bradshaw. Bradshaw is a 6-foot freshman from East Orange, New Jersey. And I tell you, he has really surprised him. He's played some great basketball. He was 7 for 8 from the floor in a Marquette game. And here is a whistle and a foul underneath, away from the ball. The foul was on Dave Corzine. And for Corzine, that is his second personal foul. No, check it, first personal foul and third team foul for the Blue Demons of Ray Meyer. Ray Meyer, coach of DePaul since 1942. His teams have won 569 games. What he really wants now is number 570. There is a foul underneath, away from the ball. The foul is going to be on, I believe, number 40, Kevin Keel. It is on Keel, and that is his first personal, the second team foul on Creighton. 12-6 is our score. Creighton leads DePaul. Game 1 of this regional, the NCAA in Wichita, Kansas. Here's an air ball as Clyde Bradshaw had the ball partially tipped, it appeared, when he shot it. So Creighton has it. Cross-court pass, weak side pass. Jumper is good by Randy Ecker.
You'll never see anybody any more open than Randy Ecker was for that shot. There was nobody within 15 feet of him.
DePaul seems to be sagging on their defense, and they're giving him that weak side shot. And that time Ecker really planted it. This is Ponsetto in low, and it's going to be a goaltending call on Apke. Apke called on defensive goaltending, so credit the basket to Ponsetto. He has 4 points. Checking into the game now for DePaul is Randy Ramsey. Let's look at the goaltending, Frank.
All right, and I was noticing the pass. Well, this is Ponsetto going up for the shot. There's the goaltending call. The ball is on the glass and still on the way up, or on the way down when it is tapped away from the basket. Corzine with his passes, it's easy to see why he averages 4 or 5 assists a game, because as you said earlier, he handles the ball like a grapefruit.
Tim McConnell, number 51, is in the game now for Creighton. And it goes off the leg of number 25 underneath John C. Johnson. And it belongs to DePaul University. So a turnover charged against Creighton. DePaul owns the basketball, but they are down by 6 points here in the first half of play. Corzine from 20 off the back rim. But the ball is picked off the floor by DePaul, and it's slapped around underneath, and there's a whistle of the foul in heavy traffic. Official said number 5-1 called on the foul, and that number belongs to Tim McConnell. That's his first personal and the 3rd team foul against Creighton. Our officials today:
Vincent Jacobs, the referee from the Tri-State Conference, that's in the East, and Austin MacArthur of the ECAC.
So at the line, shooting 2 shots for DePaul is number 54, Joe Ponsetto, a 6'7", 210-pound senior from Maywood, Illinois. He has 5 points now, and give him 6. He's averaging 13.5, and he gets DePaul back to within a half a dozen, and the Blue Demons are pressing now. Full court, man-to-man trapping press. They double-team the man with the ball whenever possible. McConnell gets it over to John C. Johnson. They beat the press. A driving layup by Wesley is blocked. The crowd doesn't like it, but it appeared to be a very clean block. And DePaul has the ball back. They can get within 2 now as it's 14-10 Creighton. Corzine, a turnaround jump, no good. But look at that rebound, a great rebound by number 32, Willie Dyes, in the game. It goes to Corzine, drives down the lane, shovels it up, no good. Rebound underneath. We've got a whistle and a foul, and the foul is going to be on Corzine. And for Dave Corzine, that is his 2nd personal foul.
That was a tremendous rebound a minute ago by William Dyce of DePaul. He absolutely had no business at all getting that rebound, but he didn't know it. He came back and got it with a great effort.
It's 14-10. Creighton owns the lead and the basketball. This is Keel, guarded closely by Gary Garland. They get it underneath to Johnson. Johnson on a good pass from McKenna. Johnson with the hoop. And it's 16-10. That's the first points of the game for Johnson. He's averaging 16.5. We've got a foul on number 24 of DePaul, Gary Garland. There was a pick in there, and Garland ran right into the pick and really crunched his man. That's the first personal foul on Garland, but the 5th team foul against DePaul.
Rick Apke back in now for Creighton.
And he replaces number 43, David Wesley. So Wesley goes to the Pines, and Apke back in the game. 16-10 our score. Creighton with the ball and the lead. Pass goes to Kevin Keel. Underneath to McConnell. McConnell put it up and in. Well, Tim McConnell, number 51, got the basket. It's 18-10 Creighton. Here's a jumper from about 18 feet by Randy Ramsey. It hits the rim twice and doesn't go. Boy, it's really physical inside when they're rebounding. Here's a long jumper. No good by Garland. Whistle underneath, a foul, a shoving foul against number 25, John C. Johnson of Creighton, as he was pushing off, trying to get position. That's his first personal, the 4th team foul against the Blue Jays.
Ron, it's always important in the first 5, 6, 7 minutes of a ball game for coaches to see how the officials are going to call it, to let them see if they're going to let them play or not, and obviously today they are.
Corzine got the inbounds pass, never came down with it, but he missed the shot. Apke drives baseline, and there's a traveling call against Apke, a turnover for Creighton. They've turned the ball over more than I expected to see it. Randy Ecker reports back in, replacing Kevin Keel in the Creighton lineup.
Psychologically, probably a little bit more difficult for DePaul than Creighton preparing for this game, since DePaul had earlier beaten Creighton this year.
On Creighton's home floor. This is Corzine in heavy traffic, and he traveled. Corzine was double teamed in there, and he moved the foot. Ponsetto returns to the game, Corzine out.
Now this will change the offensive look for DePaul. Ponsetto will play the post with Corzine out of the ball game, so they'll have a smaller but a perhaps quicker lineup in the game.
It's Creighton 18, DePaul 10, and I would imagine we're about 9 minutes into the first half of play. Oh, a great pass underneath. The shot is up and no good by Johnson, but he's fouled. Good pass in there. Randy Ecker got it into Johnson. Johnson was in heavy traffic, but very wisely, he threw the ball up, knowing he probably had very little chance to make the shot, but he knew he would draw the foul, and they drew it from Curtis Watkins. That's the first personal on Watkins, but it's the 6th team foul already on the Blue Demons of DePaul University.
Winner of this game will play Louisville in Lawrence on Friday. Louisville today defeated St. John's 76-68. The other half of that Midwest Regional, Utah against Notre Dame, as Coach Jerry Pym said on St. Patrick's Day.
Now Corzine returns to the game, replacing Ponsetto. Johnson missed the first free throw, but he makes the second. And there was a timeout on the floor with the score. Creighton 18, DePaul 10.
History Norman's time is up.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Collegiate Athletic Association and NCAA Productions. And any use of this program without written consent is prohibited. The announcers on this program have been approved and contracted by the NCAA. Oh, look at that shot by Randy Ecker. Ecker got the shot, and he was fouled.
Kevin McKenna was the young man who made that play possible. McKenna could just as easily have decided, let's watch it again. Now watch McKenna. He could just as easily have decided to let that ball go on out of bounds, but instead he came back and flipped it back in for Ecker to put it up and in. Tremendous play on the part of Creighton. Really turned the crowd on here at Wichita.
Eckert misses the back end of a three-point play, though, so he only gets the 2, but it's 21-10. Creighton leading DePaul by 11, and they've really played them off their feet here in the first half of play. There's less than 10 minutes left in the first half of play. A jumper by Dyes is no good. The rebound comes off to McConnell, and Creighton quickly comes the other way. Eckert to McConnell, 20-footer, no good. And look at Watkins, Sky for the rebound. DePaul quickly comes the other way. Here's a jumper, and it rims out. No good by Garland, and Garland was fouled by Randy Ecker. So Garland will go to the line to shoot a pair of free ones. And checking in now for Creighton, number 43, David Wesley. He replaces McConnell. Gary Garland will be at the line to shoot 2 shots.
Kevin Keel also back in for Creighton, Ron.
Garland makes the free throw. That cuts the Creighton lead to 10. And Garland makes them both. So it's 21-12, and DePaul presses full court. The inbounds passes comes to McKenna. He gives it back to Ecker. Ecker down to McKenna. McKenna 2-on-1. Gives it right side. Jumper is good. The jumper is good by Kevin Keel. Keel's first basket of the night. And it's 23-12. Here's a turnaround jumper by Corzine, and it finally falls for the big guy. He's had some tough shooting luck early. Those are his first 2 points of the game.
And I believe they come with about 9 minutes left to play in the half.
23-14. Creighton leading DePaul and the basketball. Corzine picks the ball up on a steal in the lane. As Keel lost control of it. This is Garland for DePaul. Garland, a 20-footer. Front rim, no good. Apke the rebound. Releases out to Ecker. Ecker with a 2-on-3. Gives it off. Garland to Keel, and Keel puts it up and in. And Creighton is running.
Absolutely, at this point, the difference in the ball game is the fact that Creighton is out-clicking DePaul at both ends of the floor.
Corzine drives, shovels it up the top door. No good. Creighton with the basketball. The rebound to Keel. Keel down to Ecker. Ecker gives it off to McKenna. Apke, 20-footer. Bang! He hits it. Creighton is tearing him up. He's tearing him up. There's a timeout on the court with our score. Creighton 27. DePaul 14. Well, the Blue Jays of Creighton have just played DePaul right off of their feet here in the first 12 minutes or so of the first half. They lead DePaul 27-14. The amazing thing is that Creighton is running, and they are beating DePaul by running. Creighton is basically a control club. Here's a driving shot, no good, but it was tipped up and in by Curtis Watkins. Are we going to get the shot? No, it will not count. But Gary Garland will be at the line for two.
Last couple of times down the floor, Creighton was not bothered by that 2-2-1 zone press at all. And normally, of all club that plays it rather deliberately in the backcourt, the 2-2-1 zone press will really slow them down. But Creighton has run right through it on their last two possessions down the floor.
Tim McConnell checks back into the game for Creighton. He replaces Rick Apke. At the line for two shots is Gary Garland, and he hammers the first one in. Ron Jacober along with Frank Fallon from the Henry Levitt Arena in Wichita, Kansas. Second one is no good, and Creighton got the rebound, and they're coming the other way. Boy, they have been hot. Goes into the corner to McKenna. Cross courts to Ecker. Ecker underneath to Keel, and Keel is fouled, and they're going to give him the basket on a goaltending. I think they're going to give him the basket on a goaltend, and also he'll be shooting it.
That's it exactly, Ron. There is a goaltending call, and I believe he is also fouled. There's the goaltending as the ball is pinned against the glass. Now the question is whether or not we have a foul. Ray Meyer is trying to get an explanation from one of the officials. And I don't know at this point whether or not we have a foul, but I do know that Creighton now has gone back up by 14.
Curtis Watkins, I believe, was called on the foul, and that is his third personal foul. And they are going to let Keel take a shot. All the players went to the other end of the floor, and the official had to call them back down because what they thought, there is a look at Ray Meyer, who obviously does not like to call. They thought, the players thought, that the only call that was made was the goaltend. There was a goaltend and a foul call on Watkins. So Kevin Keel, a 6'2 senior from Omaha, at the line, but he misses the free throw. 29-15, Creighton up by 14. DePaul has the basketball. Garland to Corzine, turnaround jumper is good. Corzine with a sharp turnaround jumper off the glass. He has 4. But Creighton still leads by a dozen as DePaul throws the full court trapping press. They double team the man with the ball. Creighton has no trouble beating him. McKenna is fouled by Watkins. Curtis Watkins picks up the foul.
On the last trip down the floor, DePaul put Corzine down extremely low and put his back to the basket. That's the first time that I've seen them do that. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not, in an effort to make up this 15-point deficit, well, actually it's now 12, they'll be trying to go to the big 6'11", 255-pounder down very, very low.
William Dyes comes into the game, number 32 for DePaul. He replaces Curtis Watkins, who goes to the bench with 4 personal fouls. Kevin McKenna, number 30, a 6'7" freshman out of Palatine, Illinois, at the line for Tom Apke's Blue Jays. McKenna hits the first. He has 5 points. It's now 30-17 Creighton. So McKenna converts both free throws, and he has a half a dozen. Corzine, long pass down to Dyes. Dyes drives and misses the layup. William Dyes had the short grip shot and missed it. Everything is going wrong for DePaul. Here's a jumper baseline. Good by John C. Johnson. He has 5, and our score is Creighton 33, DePaul 17. Corzine, a turnaround jumper. It rolls off, but it's tipped up and in by Ponsetto. Give the basket to Ponsetto.
Tremendous rebound just a minute ago by Tim McConnell that got Creighton the fast break that resulted in that shot by Johnson.
Ponsetto was 8. It's 33-19.
Creighton just not having any trouble with DePaul's press.
Absolutely not. Look at that. Ecker drives all the way down, but he missed the short shot. Dyes gets the rebound, and then he is fouled. But William Dyes picks up the foul.
Scores of other games today. Duke defeats Rhode Island 63-62. Indiana over Furman 63-62. Utah downs Missouri 86-79 in double overtime. Notre Dame 100, Houston 77, Louisville 76, St. John 68.
There's more than 6 minutes left in the first half of this one. That's as good as we can do. This is Corzine, cross-court pass, almost thrown away to Bradshaw. Bradshaw controls, however, and gives to Garland across the top of the key. Garland tries to use Ponsetto as a screen, as a pick. Can't do it. Pass underneath to Corzine, and it's up and good. Great pass from Dyes to Corzine.
Well, this one makes it look easy as William Dyes goes up, fires it to Corzine, and no trouble getting that too.
Here's a steal. Dyes steals. And DePaul has it. A driving layup taken by Clyde Bradshaw, and I think Bradshaw is going to be called on a charge, but we have an injured player on the floor, John C. Johnson. He was injured, ironically, in the other DePaul game that didn't play very much at all, and he is really hurting as he's sitting on the floor. He was hurt away from the ball, though. It had nothing to do with the contact of the ball. There is Tom Apke in his 4th year as head coach at Creighton University.
That ankle has given Johnson trouble for, I guess, the entire season, Ron.
He's a fine player, but he's had a series of nagging injuries in his career at Creighton. He's a junior out of Central High School in Omaha. And number 10, Randy Ecker, will be at the line to shoot a 1-on-1. He's a senior out of Denver. About 6 minutes or so left in the first half. Repeating, our scoreboard clock is inoperable, and the time is being kept by the official timer with a stopwatch, so we can't give you the exact time, so we can give you the minute that we're on. Tell you, the other thing that Creighton has done very well in this first half is shoot free throws. They haven't missed too many. Ecker makes both of them as he got that front rim and it fell over. 35-21.
Now pressing defense by Creighton.
This is Bradshaw driving. The official says no foul, and Creighton comes the other way. Randy Ecker to Apke, 20-footer short.
That's a typical no harm, no foul call.
Ball is slapped out of bounds, and it belongs to Creighton. 35-21, 6 minutes plus left in the first half of play. First round NCAA action from Henry Levitt Arena in Wichita, Kansas. Jumper, Apke, no good. Ball on the floor, picked up by Bradshaw. Bradshaw gets it out to Corzine. Long pass down to Ponsetto. Ecker knocks it away and knocks it out of bounds. Super defensive play by Randy Ecker.
Tremendous intensity being displayed by both of these ball clubs. particularly by Creighton on defense.
Ponsetto gets the inbounds pass, tries to get it into Corzine. It's slapped away. They're really sagging on Corzine. They're double teaming him whenever possible. Keel out front to McKenna, a 25-footer. Oh! McKenna hammers in a 25-footer. He has 8, which is his season's average. 37-21. Creighton by 16 points. Ponsetto, jumper left side, dies, no good. Corzine, the rebound, puts it up and in.
Oh, that was a tremendous power. That was a tremendously powerful shot by Corzine. Watch the miss by Dice. And Corzine with the rebound, and he just absolutely powers it home. Watch him come inside. No stopping that shot.
Oh, he's strong, 6'11", 255 pounds. Here's Ecker out front. They're giving him the shot, and he hits it again. Kid is shooting the eyes out. Randy Ecker has 8, all 4 from that same place out there. 39-23, Creighton by 16. Jumper left side, no good from Dyes. Goes over the backboard, out of bounds, and it belongs to the Blue Jays.
I think probably our viewers saw Randy Ecker. I guess, no, it wasn't Ecker, it was Kevin Keel go to the floor on that as they moved back up the floor. He just made the mistake of getting in Dave Corzine's way.
It's like getting hit with a truck.
That's right.
Randy Ecker back in the game now for DePaul. 4 minutes plus left in the first half. 39, Creighton, 23, DePaul. Weak side pass to Apke. He stops and pops from 15. It won't go. I tell you, Apke has not scored much, but everybody else has for Creighton here this afternoon. This is Randy Ramsey. Gives it to Curtis Watkins. Ponsetto at a high post. Fakes, drives off the glass, no good. The ball slapped around. Keel picks it up and decides that he better not run with it too much. They slow it up. Apke cross court to Wesley, and it's good. David Wesley hits it. Creighton has shot a phenomenal percentage from the floor here in the first half. Wesley has 6. It's 41-23, an 18-point lead for Creighton, and Ponsetto's shot rims out. It spun around, came out, went out of bounds, and the ball belongs to Creighton. I'll tell you what, they have done just about everything right, and now somebody throws some paper on the floor, and we've got a brief stoppage in play. I'd like to have the toilet tissue concession in Wichita this weekend. 3 minutes.
I didn't know whether or not they'd have to call a plumber to clear the floor or what. We've had that a lot in the first half, didn't we?
A plumber to clear the floor. Okay, Frank. 3 minutes plus left in the first half. 41-23, an 18-point lead, incredibly, by Creighton here in round 1. Ball slapped away, but picked up by Apke. Turnaround jumper off the glass is good. But I tell you what, if he gets hot, DePaul is in bigger trouble than they are now. A 20-point lead. Make it 18 as Watkins hits one. Watkins has 4, 43-25.
Ron, looking at this Creighton bench, this ball club is just on fire. There's electricity on their bench. Everybody's involved in the ball game, and it's reflected on the scoreboard.
And Apke has used about 10 players here in the first half. Apke calls a timeout. There's 3 minutes plus left in the first half, and the crowd behind us has gone bonkers. As you can see, that's the Creighton following. They called their victory over Indiana State in the Missouri Valley Conference the greatest comeback of all time in Creighton history. They were down by 10 points fairly late in the game against Larry Bird at Indiana State, but came from behind to win it 54-52 in overtime. That's how they got here. They represent the Missouri Valley Conference. DePaul, of course, comes in as an independent. They also come in with a 25-2 record. And Ray Meyer, as we told you at the outset, said this is the best team he's ever had at DePaul.
I tell our viewers that at halftime, in case you're interested in how the NCAA tournament process works, we're going to be talking to Tom Jernstedt, who is the Assistant Executive Director of the NCAA. He'll explain to you the bracketing, how the tournament has changed through the years, and what to look forward to in the future. That coming up at halftime.
3 minutes plus left in the first half. The story is Creighton 43, DePaul 25. If you just joined us, you probably think I'm spoofing you, but I'm not. That's the score. Creighton just played them off their feet here in the first half. They've out-quicked them, they've out-hustled them, and obviously they've outshot them. This is McKenna to Ecker out front. 2 minutes, 3 minutes, check it. 3 minutes left in the first half. Ecker holds up one finger. He's guarded by Watkins out there. To McKenna. Baseline jumper blocked by Ponsetto. Johnson had that shot rejected. Oh, fine driving, scooping layup by Curtis Watkins. Good fast break.
That's the most cohesive thing that DePaul has done in the last 4 or 5 minutes. A great play by Ponsetto and a great drive by William Dice.
43-27. Here's an attempted steal by Watkins. And it's out of bounds on Creighton. So it's a turnover. The ball went out of bounds off the foot of Kevin McKenna. It'll belong to the Blue Demons of DePaul University. Now check it. Let's back up. There was a foul call there on McKenna. There was a foul, so Watkins at the line. The official, I thought, was indicating an out-of-bounds play, but it wasn't. So Watkins misses the front end of a 1-on-1, and that's the least thing they could afford right now.
And Watkins is one of the best free throw shooters in the country, 90%.
Coming into the game, he was 77 for 86 on the year, but he missed that time. And here's a foul. Foul is on 10, Randy Ecker.
Well, remember when these two teams met earlier, it was an 85-82 victory in triple overtime for DePaul at Omaha.
Check it, the foul was on the other 10, Randy Ramsey. It's Randy Eckert at the line for a 1-on-1. And he hits the first. Ecker is an 82% free throw shooter on the season. He has 9 points. That's more 3 points more than his season's average here in the first half. And now he's, I was going to say he's in double figures, but he hit the back rim, but the rebound is slapped back out front. And I tell you, Frank, Creighton is just doing everything right at the moment.
Very good play by Wesley.
There's a pass to a cutting Johnson underneath, and Johnson could not control the pass. It goes out of bounds off of his left hand, and it belongs to DePaul. Garland to Ponsetto. His jumper baseline rattles out. Look at Wesley. Sky for that rebound. David Wesley. And Randy Ecker. 1 minute plus left in the first half. It's 44-27. Creighton over DePaul. John C. Johnson, number 25, to Ecker. Wesley guarded by Corzine. They've got Corzine way out front because they bring Wesley out there. And what it does is open up that middle. 1 minute plus left as now Creighton has gone into that pattern offense, which they've done so well during the season. But here's a steal by Ramsey. And DePaul has it. Ponsetto underneath. Good pass to Watkins, who put it up and in. Ponsetto with a good pass, good assist. Watkins has 8 points, and it's 44-29. Still a 15-point lead. But a moment ago, it was 20. Less than a minute left in the first half. McConnell to Johnson. Creighton owns the lead, a big one, and a basketball. Randy Ecker from Denver, Colorado. He's a senior. Gives it off to McKenna. McKenna almost has it slapped away from behind by Ponsetto.
40 seconds remaining now, Ron.
Here is a steal. This is Garland. Spins, turns, shoots, off the glass. Good, and he's fouled. Boy, that was a sweet move by Garland.
You know, these last few seconds have been very important to DePaul because let's look at it again. They've robbed some of the DePaul team has robbed Creighton of some of their momentum as we look at that steal a moment ago. And the basket by DePaul's Gary Garland, who was fouled in the process, and an opportunity at a three-point play, which could cut the lead down to 12 points. And certainly in the last 2 minutes of this first half, DePaul has played more of the kind of game they wanted to play rather than playing Creighton's game.
Randy Ecker picked up the foul, and that was his third personal foul. And the free throw is good, so you can mark 3 more points down in the book for Gary Garland. 44-32. It's down to 12 now as Garland has 6 points. And you know, Frank, the amazing thing is all this started to happen when Creighton slowed the play down. That was a fine play as number 51, Tim McConnell, went backdoor with it, came up the other side. He put it in, he's got 4, and it's 46-32. A jumper, good by Garland, and Garland has gotten hot. He's got 8 now. Less than a minute left. We don't know exactly how much because the clock. Here's Ecker driving, puts it up and in, and that, I believe, is the end of the first half. We couldn't even hear the horn with so much noise. That's the end of the first half of play with our score. Creighton 48, DePaul 34. We'll be back in a minute with our halftime show.
Ron, let me say right quickly that Creighton shot 72% in the first half. DePaul shot 35%.
Creighton in the first half, 21 of 29 from the floor. That is about as fine a shooting as I think I've ever seen in a half of basketball. Here's a steal. This is Kevin McKenna, drives and he loses his footing. He traveled, that's exactly right. Good call by the official.
Creighton had 20 assist passes in the first half. 20 assists.
And 21 of 29 from the floor. That is just totally incredible. On the other hand, DePaul was 14 of 39 for about 36% from the floor. This is Ponsetto. As DePaul has the ball, they are down by 14 points as we begin second half play. They're going to have to do some hot shooting here to catch up. Watkins, 20-footer by Garland. That's what they needed.
Another big surprise in the first half was Creighton out-rebounding DePaul 21-17.
Garland has 10, and it's now a 12-point game. The thing about DePaul, the thing they can't do is panic. They've got 19 minutes of basketball left, so there's plenty of time to just work your game. Apke. Cross-court pass goes to McKenna, or to Ecker rather, to Keel, to Apke. They tried to get it underneath on that guard down play where they send the guards down through the lane to Ecker, and it was knocked out of bounds. It will, however, belong to the Creighton Blue Jays under their own basket. Apke, the trigger man, gets it in to Wesley, and Wesley hammers it from 15 feet. He has 8, and it's again a 14-point lead for Creighton at 50-36. Loud pass underneath the Corzine. He puts it back underneath, up over his shoulders and in. Fine move by Corzine. He is in double figures now with 10. Let's take a look at that.
That's the 10th point of the ball game for Dave Corzine, and that's his game.
We had a foul as we return to live action on the inbounds play. The foul was on Kevin Keel of Creighton. And Randy Ramsey will be at the line. Now there's a look at the DePaul crowd across the way. They're trying to get things cranked up a little bit, and they like that. As Ramsey hits the free throw, he has 5, and it's a 9-point game at 50-41. Keel crosses the timeline. Pass underneath, intended for a cutting McKenna, was knocked out of bounds by an arm wearing a white jersey, and it'll belong to Creighton out of bounds out of their own basket. Now the inbounds pass came to Wesley. That's 2 times in a row. The same play, the same plays, and he got nothing but net both times. Wesley has 10. 52-41. Creighton by 11. At one point in the first half, they led by 20. They led by 14 at the half. Long jumper by Ramsey. That one is no good. The rebound comes off to Keel at 6'2". He got inside with the big guys and pulled it off. Kevin Keel. Here's a steal, ball slapped out front. It was knocked off the hands of Watkins, however. Finally knocked out of bounds by McKenna as we played catch the bouncing ball. And nobody has invented a handle for a basketball yet, but I know a few coaches that would like somebody to try.
The fans from DePaul, their favorite sign seems to be, "We are DePaul."
Here's a long jumper by Ramsey, and Ramsey has hit a couple of shots here from outside. He has 7, and he's trying to get him going. It's a 9-point game now. Creighton 52, DePaul 43. A steal. This is Garland, drives, good. The steal was caused by Ramsey. Ramsey forced Ecker to make the turnover. Let's take a look at it.
Well, this is typical of what DePaul has been doing in the last minute and a half of the ball game, and they have now narrowed the lead down to 7 points as Garland drives in, gets the 2 that makes it a 7-point ball game.
There's a timeout on the court with the score. Creighton 52, DePaul 45. Ron Jacoby with Frank Fallon in Wichita, Kansas. We hope that you're enjoying the action wherever you are this afternoon. We've got 17+ minutes left in the second half of this game, round one NCAA basketball game. Creighton with a 52-45 lead. DePaul has really made some inroads here. A near steal as they had Apke bringing the ball up the floor. Here's a jumper. McKenna. Big basket by Kevin McKenna. He breaks that momentum a little bit, and he has 10.
Incredible shooting by Creighton. 72% in the first half, and I don't think they've slowed a great deal here in the second half.
McKenna tried for the steal, but knocked the ball out of bounds, so it'll be DePaul's ball. Ponsetta gets it into Ramsey, who's hit a couple of shots from out front in the last 5 minutes or so. Ponsetta to Garland. Ramsey had the shot, but didn't take it. Hands it off to Watkins. This is Garland. It's good. Gary Garland from 20 feet out left side. Garland has 14. And it's now a 7-point game at 54-47. And how fast that Creighton lead evaporated.
Winner of this game will play Louisville in Lawrence next Friday.
Apke with the ball for the Creighton Blue Jays. Really a mismatch, but he doesn't take his man to the hole. McKenna gives driving down the lane. The shot was missed by Ecker. It was missed. He missed the crip shot, and that was a big play because DePaul got the rebound. This is Ramsey. DePaul can get back within 5 points if they can put it in the hole right now. Ponsetta to Corzine, and Corzine got involved in a shoving match with Wesley, and a foul is called on David Wesley, number 43 of Creighton. Wesley was behind him and was shoving off.
Well, when you got a guy that big inside, there's not much else you can do. Wesley is 6'7", Corzine 6'11", about 50 pounds heavier.
That was Wesley's first personal foul. Here is Ramsey again. This time it's tipped in. I don't know if they're going to give it to Watkins or who. Watkins or Garland. They're going to give it officially to Garland. They were both there. They both had a hand on it. And it's a 5-point game. Creighton 54, DePaul 49. The Blue Demons have really ripped them here in the second half. After a remarkable first half by Creighton, Apke a long jumper from at least 25 feet. Rims out. Corzine gets the rebound. Almost has it stolen away by Kevin Keel, but finally hands it off to Garland. And Garland has been a big factor here in the second half. Ponsetta across the top of the key. Ramsey to Ponsetta. Weak side pass to Ramsey. Had the shot if he wanted it, but passed it up. Ramsey again. Corzine way out front. Looking for the open man, cutting through, found nobody. So he handed it back to Ramsey. DePaul is really working it, really being deliberate. Oh, look at that move by Curtis Watkins. And 2 players hit the floor very hard. Watkins went down hard. So did McKenna.
Watch Watkins get the baseline. He took the first step, and that, of course, is the critical one in basketball. If you have that first step on the defensive player, you've got it. And Watkins got the baseline to get 2 big ones. And that makes it a 3-point ball game.
Really a heck of a drive by Watkins, I'll tell you. They just didn't box him out, and it's a 3-point game now. 54-51 Creighton. They led by 14 at the half, and we've got over 14 minutes left in the game. So DePaul has cut 11 points off of that lead in less than 6 minutes. Apke drives, shovels shot, shovels left side. Wesley up and in. David Wesley, and he has a dozen, and he has shot very well. 56-51, that gives Creighton a little bit of breathing room, but Garland takes it back again as he pops from 25 feet straight down the middle. Garland has really shot well. He has 18 points. He only averaged 13 on the season. Rick Apke right side, and DePaul has done a good job on him. Apke turns and shoots, though, as Watkins slipped and fell, but the shot didn't go. Corzine the rebound, and now DePaul can get back to within 1 point with a basket. Into Corzine, turns, shoots, good! And now DePaul is trailing by just 1 as Creighton's lead has been cut to 156-55.
Watch the big guy, just a power move to the basket. That's Corzine's game, and he gets 2 more.
Keel out front for Creighton to McKenna. Right side, Wesley underneath to Apke. Apke's short shot is missed. Corzine the rebound. And what a turnaround in the second half. This is two different ball games, Frank.
13 points that DePaul has outscored Creighton by here in the second half.
Cross court weak side to Ramsey. To Garland across the top of the key. And surprisingly, DePaul has been very deliberate. Well, there is a bad shot. Curtis Watkins with an air ball. Well, Creighton will have a chance to get back to within 3 again, and Ecker is fouled by Garland. Put a foul in your scorebook. Number 24, Gary Garland, his second personal foul. And the second team foul on DePaul here in the second half. You know, we've had, Frank, an amazing afternoon of basketball, and one of the remarkable things is we've had very few fouls in both games. They really let them play.
Officials have really let them go after it. First game was won, incidentally, 86-79 in double overtime by Utah over Missouri.
Randy Ecker bounce pass to Apke. Apke has it slapped away and picked up off the floor by Garland. And DePaul's defense has been really tenacious here in the second half. Much, much better than in the first half. Garland to Ramsey. DePaul once again has the opportunity to take the lead for the first time.
DePaul's support here is smaller than Creighton's in number, but certainly not much in vocal support. The DePaul fans have really been loud.
Look how deliberate DePaul is right now. They're really taking their time, trying to get the good shot. Garland thinks it was a good shot. No good. Oh. A left-handed tip in by Ramsey. Randy Ramsey, number 10, a left-handed tip in.
The thing about Ramsey now, he is normally considered a defensive player, but that's just an absolutely incredible basketball move.
There is a timeout on the floor with 11 minutes left. It is DePaul 57, Creighton 56.
Coach who is sitting in on his 896th collegiate game today.
Well, when you do it for 36 years, I guess nothing really excites you too much.
I guess you're not going to see anything you haven't seen before.
I was going to say, what can be new? This is McKenna, drives down the lane all the way, puts it up. It is good. 4 players hit the floor. No whistle. They counted it good. It was 12 points now for McKenna. He took it straight to the hole. Well, I tell you, I like the way the officials are calling this game. They're letting them play. That's the way the game should be played. Creighton now takes the lead back once again at 58-57. DePaul led for just a moment. This is Garland. Fakes 2 players off their feet, but does not take the shot. Watkins to Poncetta to Corzine. Fakes the shot, brings it back out front to Ramsey. Doesn't go. Big rebound for McKenna. He releases out to Ecker, but Ecker has the ball slapped away from behind by Ramsey. And DePaul has it once again. Boy, their defense has just been remarkable here in the second half. They're so intense with it. Garland, 20-footer, doesn't go. It's tipped out of bounds by Curtis Watkins, who really skied.
Ramsey knew that shot was, or Garland knew that shot wasn't going to go in. Ron, the moment he shot it, he took off after it, and realizing that the only hope he had was to hope to get a rebound.
Keel drives all the way to almost to the baseline and brings it back out front. This is Apke, drives, doesn't take the shot, sets up a screen for Ecker. His shot won't go, and Corzine with the rebound. It was a nice pass by Apke as he set up the screen for Ecker, but ball wouldn't fall. It's 58-57 Creighton, and nobody has scored, strangely enough, in the last couple of minutes here. Ponsetto to Ramsey. They cross-court it weak side to Watkins, up and in. Curtis Watkins, and he has a dozen. And again, DePaul grabs a 1-point lead at 59-58. 10 minutes plus, now just under 10 minutes left in the game. Jumper, no good, baseline by McKenna. Ball on the floor, they scramble for it, and will jump it. We have about 9 minutes and roughly 50 seconds left in the game. Creighton and DePaul a 1-point lead.
The reason, Ron, that we're saying, of course, 9 minutes and so many seconds is that we've not had a clock in total operation since there were 2 minutes remaining in the first ball game. Matter of fact, in both overtimes, they had to resort to a stopwatch in that Missouri-Utah game won by the Utes.
Tip is controlled by the Blue Demons. It's picked off the floor by Watkins. Oh, what a turnaround this has been. Creighton could do no wrong in the first half. DePaul has done very little wrong here in the second half. The result is a 1-point game. Ramsey on the dribble out front, trying to set something up. To Garland. Lob pass to Corzine. Corzine fakes, drives, puts it up. It's good, and he's fouled. Just pure and simple strength by that man right there. 6'11", 255-pound Dave Corzine.
Well, Corzine is doing what we have seen him do on several occasions today, and that is simply power the ball to the hook. You know, if DePaul should win this ball game today, it would be their 13th victory in a row, and that hasn't happened for Coach Ray Meyer since back in 1966, the last time that his ball clubs won 13 in a row, and they're trying to do that again here today.
The foul was on Wesley. He has 3, and now Corzine has 17. He made both free throws, and incredibly, DePaul leads by 4, 62-58. Now they lead by 2 as Apke hits from the baseline. Whistle under the basket. We've got a foul. I believe they're going to count the basket good. Basket is good. The foul is on Randy Ramsey, his 3rd personal foul. And Creighton has the ball in bounds, a non-shooting foul. So they got the basket, then they got the ball back on the shoving foul and the rebound, and Apke hits another one. So Apke gets 4 points on that trip down the floor. He has a dozen. And once again, we are tied at 62-62. Ponsetto for DePaul with the ball. Bounce pass Corzine. He's double teamed, but he turns and shoots anyway and hits it. Corzine was double teamed, but he's so big and so strong that he can shoot anyway, and the big guy has 19. Boy, he'll make a great pro player. 8 minutes plus left in the game. 64-62 DePaul. Wesley to Ecker. Bounce pass baseline to Keel. This is Ecker. Keel drives, doesn't take the shot. They keep working it in. Now they move it back out. Apke gives a right side. Wesley jumper good. David Wesley.
I think you'd have to say that Wesley has been as big a factor in this ball game for Creighton as anybody. He has made some incredible plays and has come up with baskets when they had to have them.
It's tied at 64-64. 8 minutes plus left in the game.
What do you suppose the odds are of having 2 overtime games in one?
You wouldn't do that to me, would you?
No.
I might need some oxygen if that happens. We've got the foul is called on Kevin Keel, number 40. That's his 3rd personal foul, and the 4th team foul for Creighton here in the second half. At the line will be Gary Garland. Garland shooting 2. His first one is up, and it's good. Garland has 17 points. That's 4 points over his season's average. Give him 18. And DeSmet leads by 2 again, and Ray Meyer says, let's take a timeout. I don't know if Ray's excited or not, but his flower is wilted. There's a timeout on the court with the score. You can see it. DePaul leads by 2.
I had him for 2 extra points. I went down and checked. You know that one tip? Yeah. He screwed that deal. I thought 24 made it. Up from here, it was like his hand missed the ball. Yeah.
That's who I call. That's who I call.
situation is simply this. There's 7 minutes plus left in this basketball game. DePaul down by 20 points at one point in the first half. Down by 14 at the half. Leads by 2 now over Creighton, 66-64. 7:56 left in the basketball game. 7:56. It's being kept on a stopwatch at the scorer's table because the clock here is inoperable.
You know, DePaul's lost only 2 ball games this year, a 1-pointer at LSU and a 6-pointer at Marquette. Otherwise, they've won 25, and they have a 12-game winning streak right now, and that is the longest in the nation, along with UCLA.
Gary Garland with the steal as he stepped right in front of Randy Eckert underneath. So it's a turnover for Creighton. DePaul takes over. Ramsey fakes the shot, then had it, but didn't take it. Ponsetto, they call him the Godfather at DePaul. Cross courts it to Ramsey, weak side. Again to Ponsetto, baseline. Ponsetto just goes baseline to baseline underneath. Gets that pass, trying to set up Corzine, basically. There's a jumper, and it's good by Ramsey. Ramsey has really shot very well out there in the second half. He has 11 points. And DePaul, with their biggest lead of the game, quite obviously, a 4-point advantage, 68-64, less than 7 minutes left. Pass underneath. It is up, and it's good by Eckert. Randy Eckert, number 10, got the good pass, took his man down low, laid it in. He was fouled.
How many times today have we seen the good little man make the basket from in close? I would imagine within this ball game we've seen it a dozen times.
Really has been. It's been an amazing thing. All the teams have been sending the guards down. Garland committed the foul, his third, and at the free throw line with 13 points is Randy Eckert, and he misses. Ponsetto with a rebound, and we've got a 2-point game now, 68-66. The ball by that margin, they own the ball too, and Ponsetto almost traveled. Right side, here's Ramsey again, and once again he hits it. Randy Ramsey, the senior from Harvey, Illinois, and he has 14. His high was 12 in the previous Creighton game, so this is Ramsey's best game offensively of the season. There's a driving layup, missed. Keel drives, and his shot is blocked, and the Creighton bench right in front of us thought he was fouled, no whistle, and more paper hits the floor. And we're going to have to stop play now to get it off. Well, Frank, it's really, really been physical. It has really been physical.
And I believe we've got to call timeout with a little bit better than 6 minutes remaining.
Coach Ray Meyer. It's inbounded to Ramsey, who has really, really shot well today. To Corzine down low. Right side it goes to Ramsey. To Garland. Watkins back to Garland. They're really looking to get it to Corzine, and they did that time. He's double teamed though and does not shoot, so they bring it out. They're just trying to spread out that offense to open up the middle, but Creighton is sagging on Corzine, double teaming whenever they can. Ramsey almost tied up. Bounce pass to Corzine, and Corzine yells some instructions to Ramsey. Almost tied up with a 5-second rule. Ponsetto, high lob pass to Corzine, and Corzine is fouled underneath by number 43. I believe it was number 43, David Wesley. Was it Wesley? Yeah. Wesley got him inside.
A lot of our viewers probably wonder now, why was the foul called on that play when some other plays that have been obviously much more physical than that have been allowed to go without a call? Because that one would have affected a basket. It would have affected a shot.